you on while you search, Fernando, or if you just put up the one, that's fine as well. Um, when Vice Mayor brought this to the Heritage Committee, right away it just stuck out to me. I thought, man, this is a great idea. We're celebrating 250 years of American history, and it is my belief that George Washington is the greatest American who has ever lived. And how neat to bring that to the city of Porterville, um, in as far as a marker of that 250th celebration. Vice Mayor, you have led on this. You have really taken charge, and it's one thing that I'm in support of, and something that you've really dedicated
That's the
yourself to.
That's the one.
And so it's been a great honor through this process, and would love for you to lead on this.
Thank you, Mayor. I think this is a great project, and there's a lot of emotion on this. I heard a lot tonight too, and I just appreciate Ms. Vafiada's passion tonight. She's pounding on the podium, and I love the passion. We have different perspectives. We may disagree on some things, but I love that passion. And the passion there was to honor George Washington. If you look back through history, we went through the Civil War, and it was 600,000 men died to end slavery and change the course of our country. And they both, the North and the South, tried to claim George Washington. George Washington is a figure in our history that is not just iconic, but he's a veteran. It's not just iconic, but he was our first non-king. He was the first president. It's not just something that he did to secure our freedom, but he led in a way that was maybe few have ever led in the history of the world. And I would just say this. When you look back at setting the community, right? We talk about the library. Let's talk about the library for a second. The library is a symbol of our community's commitment to learning and the future and education. And it's not just a place to read, it's also a community center, but it's also a symbol. The farmer, which we all celebrate the farmer, and we love the farmer. The farmer was donated for 1976 when I was a kid when that was donated, and it was a wonderful thing, and I still remember that from my childhood. Now, the way it was done is different. The times were different, but that's the 200th anniversary, and it centers us on farming. Washington was a farmer too. There's something really important about the icon and the figure and the history and the true history of George Washington that unites us all in America. And it's important that we have a symbol that unites our community. And so you could talk about, if we said, hey, we're going to replace the farmer, it's not 20 million or 25 million like a library, but it would probably cost you a couple $1 million to replace the farmer today. So you have 50 years of everyone's attention and symbolism, identity of our community in that farmer. And it's really important because that's the continuity of our heritage of our city too. The George Washington Monument represents another icon, and at a very cheap price. And I will tell you that as I push this forward, and I'm going to recommend this to go forward, that there are lots of folks in our community that want to contribute to this. And if we push this forward and lead on this, I believe it will be paid for. And I believe that the community will come out and support this because it goes right in Veterans Park. It centers us on why we're here. It centers us on our history. It harkens back to, and it's gonna have some things on it that reference back to the farmer. And it's that continuity in our city that is our identity, which is patriotism. And I think that, when we look at this in the Heritage Committee, it was hands down, everybody said, yes, let's do it. Let's go figure out how to do this. And in a short timeline that we've had to do this, to pay for it, we've had to try to lead from the council, and so we're making this recommendation to the council, and I'm hoping that you'll move it forward tonight so that we can get it going, and then we can get it reimbursed by the members of the community that are passionate about this, that want to contribute to this, and offset the cost so that it doesn't come out of the taxpayer's pocket, but it becomes a community place to gather, a community place to reflect, a community place to center us back. And also, like the library, it's a symbol. And so it's really hard to tear down George Washington. He is a man that wrote the rules of civility when he was a teenager. And we need civility in our country. We need it in our city. We need it everywhere. And when we work together, that is what makes us great. And George Washington is a symbol of that. And I think that that will center us on real history. It centers us in Veterans Park. It centers us around the farmer. It centers us around our penchant to maintain and build up our community and all the symbols around our community that point back to who we are. And that's what I have to say, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Councilman Rivas.